Hi guys, this is your girl Wakeji Kamore and welcome to Reflections by Wakeji Kamore. Thank you guys for continuing to just go through the book of Second Chronicles with me. Today I'm going to be covering chapter 11, which is a continuation, of course, from chapter 10. If you haven't read this chapter for yourself, please pause this recording and just read the chapter for yourself so to understand the story. You get your own lessons because God speaks to us in different ways. God speaks to us in different manner. He has different messages for each one of us. So please just pause, read for yourself, and then you can come and listen to the summary that I have and to the lessons that I have picked from this chapter. So this chapter continues from chapter 10, where Rehoboam has become king. He has ignored the counsel of the older and wiser men, and he has gone with the counsel of the younger men, which was very unwise counsel, very unwise advice, and that has resulted to the splitting of the nation. So now we have Israel, which is 10 of the tribes of Israel, and then we have Judah, which has just basically Judah and the Benjamin people, Benjaminites, Benjamin, the tribe of Benjamin. So it has resulted into that split, and now Rehoboam is feeling very insecure because now he has lost 10 whole tribes. It's like you've lost more than half, more than 3/4 of the nation that you're supposed to lead, or the kingdom that you're supposed to be king over. So what he does is that he decided to, mobilize a troop of men to go and fight against Israel so that he can just try and see whether he can get back and restore the kingdom to himself. But the Lord was like, hey, Rehoboam, do not even dare go and fight against your relatives. Those are your brothers and sisters. Those are your relatives. You cannot go and fight against them. So he obeyed the message of the Lord and did not go and fight against Jeroboam. And so now what he did is that he went to fortify the cities that were around Judah. He built Bethlehem, Etam, Tekoa, Bethzur, Soko, Adullam, Gath. Like he built as many cities as possible and fortified the towns of Judah and Benjamin, just because he was very afraid that the people of Israel would come and attack him and even take the 2 tribes that he had left in his kingdom. But one of the things that I find very interesting is that in verse 13 it says about how the priests and the Levites that had gone to the northern tribes, which is the 10 tribes that have gone now to form Israel, or the northern kingdom, is that they were coming back to Judah. They were coming back to where they had come from. And sometimes when you just think about it and wonder, why are they coming back? Why are they not just becoming priests where it is that they have gone? So what was happening is that because Jerusalem was where the temple was built, all the festivities and all the worshiping of God, all the sacrifices would happen in Jerusalem. All the celebrations, the yearly celebrations that used to happen, all the ones that used to happen like during the different seasons, that there would be celebrations, they would all happen in Jerusalem. So people would actually travel back to Jerusalem, even the ones that had gone to Israel, the ones that had gone to the northern what do I call it? Northern side, northern nation. I don't know what to call it. But those that have gone to the tribes that had gone to the northern side, that were being led by Jeroboam, would come to now worship God in Jerusalem. And Jeroboam felt very scared about the fact that people would go and not come back. He was very scared and he was very insecure about the fact that people would actually come to Jerusalem to worship God, and he was afraid that they would never come back to the side of the northern side. So what he said he would do is that he would, make calves, like golden calves. He would, raise like statues that people can actually worship, and he raised people to be priests and to lead the sacrifices and to do the things that the Levites were supposed to be done. He gave those roles to just anybody. Like anybody could become a priest, so long as you give, you give like 1,000, I don't know if it was 1,000 or 100 cattle. Like you made a sacrifice, you could easily just become a priest. And it was priests of paganism, because it was priests of idols that Jeroboam had created from a place of fear or from a place of insecurity. And sometimes when I think about it, and I just thought about how Jeroboam was willing to sacrifice his spiritual standing. He was willing to just, sell off his spiritual standing just because he was very insecure that he would lose these people, that he would lose these tribes that had now formed Israel. He was willing to lose his spiritual standing for just the sake of retaining these people, or from the fear that he would actually lose these people. And when I think about it, I think about how fear sometimes can cripple us, or how fear sometimes can make us lose our spiritual standing, just because we have such a fear of losing something, or you have such a fear of rejection, you have such a fear of this and this, that it can make you exchange your spiritual standing just so that you can get that thing that you're afraid that you won't get, or that thing that you're afraid you will lose. For example, the people who are afraid to lose a job, so they sleep with their bosses, or they're afraid that they won't get a job, so they sleep their way to getting jobs. The people who are afraid that they won't get a tender, or they won't get this specific order, so they bribe people in procurement just so that they can get these tenders. The people who are so afraid to be alone that they would rather be unequally yoked. They would rather lose or give up their spiritual standing and be unequally yoked just because they are so afraid to be alone. The people who are afraid to be rejected, so they give into sex. They give into sex even if they don't want to have sex, but you're just like, oh, Mr. Kukataliwa, or Mr. Kusomwa vibaya, so you just give in into early sex, or even sex when you don't want to have it. There are people who, which I feel like this is like the worst fear, like when you have the fear of unknown, you don't know whether things will work out, you don't know what the future brings, or you are so afraid to start something, or you're so afraid to do anything because you don't know how it will turn out. And you have stopped doing these things instead of putting up your faith in God. This fear is causing you to not have faith in God, because when you have faith in God, then these fears of that cripple you of the unknown, or these fears that cripple you of whatever it is that is going to happen in future, it diminishes when you have faith in God. So sometimes we would rather not start something and give up having faith in God for the great things that He can do for us. Sometimes we'd rather start small, or you're so cautious, you're just like, I don't want to start, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, because you have given up your faith in God, and instead you're trying to protect yourself, you're trying to cover yourself, you're just trying to make sure that nothing ever goes wrong by trying to take control of everything. So I think my question is fear causing you to lose your spiritual standing? Is there any space that you have given to fear that has caused you to lose your spiritual standing? It could be in the areas that I have mentioned. It could be something completely different. It could be that as a parent, you don't want to lose that friendship that you have with your children, so you'd rather not correct them. You want to remain a friend as opposed to being a parent, so you don't want to correct them. And in that point, you're losing, or you're exchanging that role that you have as a spiritual guidance to your children, because you want to remain cool in their eyes. It could be any fear, but I think my challenge for you is to sit down and ask yourself, the things that I'm afraid of, or the things that I'm doing, am I doing them as a result of fear? Am I doing this as a result of fear? And sometimes when you're doing something wrong. I am sure that this guy is called Jeroboam knew that he was doing something wrong when he was raising those gold calves and gold statues for people to worship, just so that people don't leave him and don't go back to where they had come from. I'm sure he knew he was doing something wrong, but that fear had crippled him. So my challenge to you is, ask yourself, the things that you're doing, are they as a result of fear? The things that you are losing, the things that you're willing to let go, the spiritual things that you're willing to let go, the good things that you're willing to let go, is it as a result of fear? And what is it that you can do so that then you can stop being afraid, and instead you can have faith in God? That is my challenge for you guys, for myself as well, because there are some areas of my life where I'm just like, Hapa, I think I'm allowing fear to cripple me, and I'm allowing fear to make me lose my spiritual standing. So that's my challenge for all of us, and I do hope that you have enjoyed listening to this word, and that it challenges you to actually take some time and think about the things that I'm saying, and the things that the Holy Spirit is going to put in your heart, and that you will do something about it. Thank you very much for listening, and see you tomorrow.